Hey, how's it going, guys? Ricky Summer here. Today I've come back in time to talk to you about how to get inspiration for songwriting. Roll the intro. Welcome to Music Monday. Yes, I know it's Tuesday. Alright, so I want this to be a weekly or fortnightly series that just gives me an opportunity to talk about music, whether that's tips and tricks or just updating you on what I'm working on, because I'm always working on something, or maybe we can talk about music in certain games. Man, listen, the possibilities are endless. And if you want to throw some questions in the comments, I'm more than happy to derive video topics from those. I want to answer some of your questions because I know some of you are aspiring musicians or producers or whatever you want to call it, and I want to help you guys out. All right, so today I want to talk about inspiration because I think this is a big issue for me. This is my single biggest hurdle when it comes to songwriting. I am unfortunately a chronic sufferer of writer's block. So I want to talk about some of the ways that I get around it. Some techniques that might help you start to write songs and help you figure out what to write about. Alright, so I tend to write from the heart. And what I mean by that is I take my emotions and experiences and I turn them into songs. Songwriting is, in a way, a form of therapy for me. And that's great mentally, and I think in the sense that I end up with lyrics that are more personal and mean something to me. But the downside to that is it's really difficult for me to just sit down and go, I'm going to write a song. Let's go. Because I need a topic, I need an emotion, I need an experience, I need something to process. So for example, my Mean Streets album was about me getting my life together. The album actually started with the song Can't Stop, which is a very, stereotypical, inspirational, rising up to the streets, gonna take on the world sort of thing. That's what started the inspiration for the album, and the rest grew from there, and it eventually became a sort of window into the world of Bay City in the year 2085, right? Then you've got my more recent singles, Emotion Overdrive, which was about not being able to really enjoy life or have really any strong emotions, any strong feelings about much of anything. So it was sort of a desperation to just feel. And then that sort of led me down a path in my life that ended up in the song Love Punk, which was about a relationship that wasn't super healthy. So, you can sort of see, the story of my life playing out here in the songs that I write. So right now I'm working on an EP called Lascivious Moon. And for the first time in years, this one is not going to have any lyrics because I've just tried to sit down and write some songs rather than having an emotion to process, having an experience to write about. And this is partially due to the fact that we're all stuck in our homes at the moment, so I'm not going out and living life and having fun and making bad decisions and getting inspiration for lyrics, right? So this has got me thinking about some of the techniques that I use to, for lack of a better word, force myself into inspiration. So the first technique is write a short story. Back before my Ricky Summer days, when I was doing sort of swampy blues rock sort of stuff, I released an album called Badlands. Some of you who've been following me for quite some time will remember that one. That came from a short story. I was obsessed with this concept I'd come up with. And look, to be perfectly honest, it was basically just Mad Max, but instead of cars, it's flying machines and walking mechs. But I was really into this idea and I wrote a short story, and from that short story came the lyrics for the song Badlands, and then from that song came the rest of the album. That's something I absolutely recommend. If you have something you would like to write about, but the lyrics just aren't coming, the ideas aren't coming, write a short story, or even just like maybe journal entries. Write something that explains the concept that you want to write about. Especially if you're writing in a creative sense, you're writing narrative, you tend to come up with metaphors to explain things. And that in particular, I find, is really helpful for writing lyrics. You just take those metaphors that you naturally forge in the creative writing process and you tweak them a little bit and you change them into song lyrics. Tip number 2 is writing to an existing piece of work. You can pick a movie that you feel represents the type of song or album that you want to write and watch the movie, have it on in the background, slap it in your digital audio workstation of choice, and then just write some music, use it as inspiration. No one has to know what movie you've used, or that you've used a movie or a painting or a photo or whatever. No one has to know. It's just a tool that triggers thoughts and emotions that then lead to inspiration for songwriting. But then if you want to come out and say, yo, I've written this album inspired by Conan the Barbarian starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, totally go ahead and do it. That very well might work from a marketing standpoint. And as an extension from that, something I've been doing to help me write this new EP is just take gifs from 80s movies or exercise tapes or whatever, just something from the 80s that makes me feel nostalgic, just a little GIF, and I put that in Reaper, which is the digital audio workstation that I use, and either I'll beat match to it, or maybe I won't even do that. I'll just have it playing, have it looping in a little window while I'm playing and recording and whatnot, and it becomes the inspiration for the track. And last but certainly not least, just go out and live life, which is hard to do right now. I know, because we're all stuck inside, man. But sometimes you just got to get out of your comfort zone, get out of your own head, get some fresh ideas, because eventually you just recycling the same old stuff that you've been working on for however many years you've been alive. You need to go out and get some new opinions, get some new points of view, make some bad decisions, have some fun, Many of my songs are based on bad decisions, and look, what's the worst that can happen? You end up with a song, right? Alright guys, so that's how I work. When I'm unable to just get into the shower and come out with a song, because for whatever reason, the shower is my place of introspection and where most of my songs are written, well, these are some things that might be able to help you kickstart that inspiration and get something out. So get out there and get writing. I only ask one thing, that you release what you write. I don't want it sitting in some book somewhere or on your hard drive, just growing moldy and not doing anyone any good. Get it out there, man. Make someone smile, improve someone's life, inspire them to follow their own dreams. But for the moment, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to gently caress that like button, and I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer, out.